Hello, you probably know this trailer came out. I've been excited for this movie, but first of all, am I happy that this film is coming out? Yeah, of course I am. I'm a fan of the series. Do I think the last two films are the best? Absolutely fucking not, especially Jurassic Grasshopper Dominion. Do I like Jurassic World? Yeah, I love it. I love it just as much as the Jurassic Park, the original film. Though that's probably because I'm pretty sure that was it's nostalgia from I think it was the first film I ever saw, and because it's what introduced my favorite dinosaur ever, Indominus Rex. Call me what you want for liking the Indominus Rex. I love it. But what I want to do is I'm just gonna react. Sorry, Universal, I think. So sorry, Universal, if you don't like this, I'm gonna do it anyway. Not getting any money, so I wish I was getting money, but I'm not. So either way, I'm just basically advertising, using the trailer, making it more popular than it already is to whatever degree I can do that. Because I don't really have that big of an audience. I think there's a few of you, besides from the passers-by and that. So you know what? So before I start, I'm just going to be going through, watching it, and then giving my peace of mind, so not really doing anything. I don't really know if this would allow it to fall under fair use in the copyright law. Probably not, but sorry again, Universal. Sorry. Let's begin.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist. Sorry, what mission? This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet. Oh my god. Fortunately for us,
So if you don't know, this is the Titanosaur. I don't know if it's supposed to be a Pacific Titanosaur, or like maybe like Argentinosaurus. I think that's a Titanosaur. It may not be. But either way, I like the design. I like the long tail, and I like these sort of fins it's got going here. Definitely looks the most unique out of the sauropods, and it definitely fits the name of the Titanosaur. It's huge. Also, I'm liking this setting we got going on here. I think it's on some sort of new island, so that's gonna be fun.
all these species exist in one isolated place.
I think that might have been the
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less. More or less? We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
We look towards Barbados, avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need...
My thoughts on this being the original research facility for the Jurassic Park, I'm a little bit more confused, because wasn't that supposed to be Easel Sorna? Unless this is Easel Sorna, which would explain why it has Spinosaurus there. So, I'm gonna get more into those later, so... If this isn't there, I'm interested to see, maybe it's Manticorp Island? Maybe Manticorp refound it, which would explain why there's a Spinosaurus that looks different from the JP3 Spino. No, which is still my favorite design of the Spino, but there's a lot of things going on.
DNA from the three biggest dinosaurs. Do we have to get a...
Oh, I'd also like to note that this is my first time ever watching it. I didn't react to it previously, so you're getting my raw, uncensored opinion. There might be parts where my sort of more scientific-led brain comes out and says, hey, this is inaccurate. Though and while, yeah, that's kind of critiquing it, it isn't going to, it doesn't really bother me that much because this isn't supposed to be a documentary. If this was a documentary, then that'd be a huge problem, but this is Jurassic World. Anyone who has a functioning brain probably doesn't go into Jurassic World thinking, I'm gonna get scientifically accurate shit from this.
Oh, from an egg? I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
Maybe we should make it quick.
It's the Coatlas, I think. So yeah, that's a... Okay, let me see if I can back up the get the shot of the Quetzalcoatl. Sorry.
Maybe we should make it quick.
So yeah, I like, it doesn't seem like they differ too much from the Dominion Quetzalcoatlus. But so if you didn't know, Quetzalcoatlus isn't a dinosaur. It's not. It's a pterosaur. Pterosaurs in general are not dinosaurs. Hell, half the things in this franchise are some of the big things in this franchise, like even the Mosasaurus, aren't dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. It's like they claim them to be. The Dimetrodons from Dominion, those aren't dinosaurs either. They're actually closer related to mammals. So, they're closer related to you and I, as humans, than they are to dinosaurs.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst were left here.
That was the new, I think they're calling it the D-Rex. I don't know much about it. And I don't really have any real major opinions on it right now, other than I wonder what they're gonna do with it and what kind of like it's supposed to be. Is it like a hybrid? Are they revisiting that human dinosaur hybrid thing that they originally were gonna do to who in Jurassic World before they switched over to the Indominus Rex, which I am one of the people who think that they did use human DNA in the Indominus Rex. It just explains so many questions about it, like why does it have pronated, why does it have not pronated, why does it have movable thumbs? Let's just put it at that. Why can it do that? Why does it have control over its thumbs? Why does it even have thumbs? There's nothing in its DNA that has thumbs. The closest I think we can get is to maybe like the Deinosuchus, a giant crocodilian. But even then, if it does have thumbs, it can't control them. It just isn't able to control them. The pronating of the wrists, that's explainable by the Deinosuchus, because Deinosuchus is a crocodilian, and crocodilians are able to pronate their wrists. They just can't control it. So unlike with true dinosaurs, if a dinosaur pronates its wrist, meaning it faces down, they're breaking their wrist. It's broken. But a crocodilian, they can do that. It's just not naturally. They can't, control it. So if they, hit something and, if they put their hand on the edge of something and it slips, it can pronate, and it won't get injured, and they won't be injured, but they can't pronate their wrists by their own will. So that explains why the Indominus Rex has its hands pronated. But it also seems like it can actually control its wrists. Which, yes, I do know normally in Jurassic World, the wrists are pronated. But it seems like they've been going away from that to the inward, non-pronated clapping look that they should have, which I like. I'm not asking for perfect accuracy, but little details like that I like. Like, I'm okay with them not being fully accurate as long as they're still sort of within that general of what you expect of that dinosaur. Like T-Rex, that looks like a T-Rex. I think actually if you bulked it up a bit, it'd be a pretty good design. It'd be a pretty good design for like maybe like a late 2000s, early 2010s documentary. I get on this new era thing, like, they really are pulling off a Toho here. They're pulling one of those off. They said Dominion was gonna be the last film, yet now we're getting this one. The exact same thing happened with Godzilla and Toho. Like, they originally said Destroy All Monsters was gonna be the last film. They kept going. Gonna say 1995, Godzilla vs. Destroyer was gonna be the last film. And they didn't. Although that one might have just been more of like a temporary thing to allow for the American Godzilla to come out. Even though I don't think they didn't have to. I mean, in recent times, like, we've had -1, and then we had Godzilla Kong released much closer together to each other. Pretty much within a similar time frame, like only a few months apart. Both did pretty well. Despite what the YouTuber, video, movie, essay, dumb fucks think. So they're kind of pulling off a Godzilla here.
We put ourselves
Dilophosaurus. I like that they kept the Dilophosaurus and the T-Rex the same. The Dilophosaurus, I don't really care for it that much. The T-Rex, I love the T-Rex's design. It fits with that more sort of speedy, maybe not quite as agile thing they got going on. Though, in my headcanon, it is just as agile. They have the hip anatomy to do that. With the Indominus Rex having inherited that, so. And then the more, like, bulky original Jurassic Park and Jurassic World Dominion design, which I think they're still keeping up here. It looks decent.
a long shot.
At least then the figure looks bulky.
What the hell are those?
They're helping the mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
Okay. So, this is the main thing I knew I'd probably end up talking about. No. So, this new Spinosaurus design. I like it. It's more accurate, but based off the toys, it looks like it's still sort of like an in-betweener between JP3 and realistic. Which brings me up to probably what's going to make this video longer than it probably needs to be. We're going to have to exit YouTube because I gotta go use Google. So, one of the things... So, if you were in the Jurassic World, our highly articulated model collecting community, like 2023 or so, you might have heard this guy, Arctic Figures, and the scammer that he is. And sadly, I had bought a juvenile Spinosaurus, and well, I still don't have that little one. I do, so I'm happy that I actually got my Edel stuff from them. From Edel, my pocket sores, which I don't know if I made a video on that. How do I get this? I'm having technical difficulties. What if I do that? Aha! So now I can go into... So, Arctic Figures. So he had he made a JP3 Spinosaurus, but a male, and then also a female. So here's the male, very similar to the Edel one you see here. But that's the JP3 Spino. Quick little thoughts on this figure. I say it's actually a little bit better than the Edel. I think the painting on the Edel is maybe a little bit. I like the paint jobs just as much as on both of them. But the thing that I think makes the Arctic figures one better is toe articulation and where the torso joint is. The torso joint is up on the front by the shoulder and not in the middle of the sail. And while on the Edel one, it doesn't actually break the sail that much, but still here it provides a perfect clean look. So, gotta give the scammer that credit. And so, but here's his female design. Looks a little familiar, doesn't it? Yep. He had the idea that a female would look a little bit more like a more realistic reconstruction. A sort of in-betweener, of the two. Which, I don't know if this is what's happening or what's going on here with this design here. With the design here. Which actually, you know what? We can close out of that now. So, like, it looked like you could see to me, the legs don't look as short and shrinked as the real Spino had. They look like they're more built up. Maybe not as big as the males, but they still look big. Bigger than they should be if this was a fully accurate. Good. The head looks pretty well done. And the tail also sort of fits that, the more sort of paddle-like tail, while still remaining sort of JP3-like. But, so, you know what, okay. So, and I like that idea. I like that. I think it actually makes sense why they would be, maybe, like, that would be heavily sexually dimorphic stuff going on there. Because maybe the females are more of the hunters and the males are more of a defender, each can still do what the other is supposed to do well enough to survive. The females can still defend themselves as well, and the males can still go out and catch food by actually diving well enough to still live. And what the male may lack in capability that the female does, it can make up for by being, well, large enough and powerful enough to just go hunt maybe some kind of smaller or medium-sized land prey. So, I mean, at best we got the Spino, so I'm gonna try and find a good picture of the Spinosaurus. Where's figure? Yeah, right here. Like, yeah, they look very similar. Except the sail is more flattened out on the top. The paddle is looks a little bit more like the real one, and the head is more bulked out. A little bit closer to more like like the Fallen Kingdom Baryonyx, which I like that. So, if it does reveal that all of those 3 Spinosauruses are female, I'm gonna say there might actually be a good chance that they went with this design just being a female that just has within Spinosauruses that the females are just heavily sexual dimorphic. and that the JP3 is the male design. Which I think there's a chance that also might explain why they're working with the Mosasaurus. Or in some way, shape, or form. Outside of it just being simply... right here. Outside of it just being simply like... back to the thing, like... This... That's the... Okay, really? Where'd that image go? Come on. Okay, I lost the image, but... So, like, yeah, I think that would be awesome if that's what they're doing. I would love that. But I think there might be a chance that could also explain why they're working with the Mosasaurus. It's because maybe, let's say, back in the old yonder days, the females would do something similar with that, but with just a male Spinosaurus instead of a Mosasaurus, and so they're just following their natural instincts, and it's just being projected onto the Mosasaurus. Or if the Mosasaurus was just smart enough to get them to do that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Maybe, like, they have some sort of, like, territorial group thing where, like, sort of like with crocodilians, like, a male will own the territory. He will not let other male crocodiles, and this is the same for males, male alligators, probably male caimans too, and maybe male gharials. But, like, let's say a male saltwater crocodile. The male saltwater crocodile will not let, or at least he would not be happy with, another male crocodile coming into his territory and living in it. He don't like that. He's okay with females living in it, but he's not okay with other males. That would be awesome if that's sort of something with the behavior of the Spinosaurus. Like, a male Spinosaurus will own a territory. He will let females live in that territory, and he'll leave them alone. But the second another male comes into the territory, or in this case, anything that that male Spinosaurus perceives as a threat, he will exterminate that threat. And in this case, like in the film, if that would be a male Spinosaurus, like a JP3 style Spinosaurus, he may have brought the females along because he sees as a threat, except he doesn't know what the hell it is, so he's bringing backup in case things get ugly, because he knows it's not a Spinosaurus. But he also knows it could be a threat, and he doesn't know what it is. I think that would be awesome. Like, it's not food, it's a territorial thing. And the Mosasaurus has just somehow been able to, whether that be just by the female's instincts taking them over, or if they were all just, maybe like the Mosasaurus was just intelligent enough to convince those female Spinosauruses to do that. And then now he just does, and that Mosasaurus just does the same thing that a male Spino would have done 99 to 93.5 million years ago. I think that would be fucking awesome. So, man, I would love to see that happen. And probably in my headcanon, that's how it would be. But that's gonna be all for today. Sorry again, Universal, if you don't like me using the trailer. Sorry. I'm just providing free advertisement, I guess, in my thoughts. So, have fun, everyone.